Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. The number of jobless Filipinos declined in October to pre-pandemic level, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. The country's unemployment rate eased to 4.5% in October. This translates to over 2.2 million jobless Filipinos, which is lower than the 3.5 million logged a year ago. The PSA said increased economic activity amid the holiday season is a factor in the lower unemployment figure. The underemployment rate, or the percentage of people looking for additional work, also went down in October. Progressive groups staged a protest action against the use of pension funds for the proposed Maharlika Investment Fund. Bukluran ng manggagawang Pilipino led the protest outside the main office of the Social Security System in Quezon City. The group's chairperson, labor leader Calio de Guzman, likened the proposed Sovereign Wealth Fund to the controversial Coco Levy Fund that was introduced during the time of former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Minority lawmakers and different sectoral and business groups are raising concern over the measure, which seeks to pool money from state insurers to be able to set up the Sovereign Wealth Fund. The Supreme Court has started hearing petitions against the controversial no-contact apprehension policy. Marlene Alcaide with the report.
The no-contact apprehension policy, or NCAP, was envisioned as an upgrade to traditional traffic regulation. It uses CCTV cameras to capture traffic violations without the need for traffic enforcers in some areas in Metro Manila. Under this scheme, notices of traffic violations will be sent straight to the registered owners of the vehicles and not to the actual drivers. That's why many transport groups and motorists are opposed to this. Last August, the Supreme Court temporarily suspended the implementation of the NCAP, pending action on 3 separate petitions questioning its legality. During the first round of oral arguments on Tuesday, petitioners argued that the scheme violates data privacy. They also questioned the penalties imposed through the NCAP, which they say are higher than in-person apprehensions. Another petitioner, lawyer Human Paa, called the ordinance unfair and oppressive. Paa was fined 20,000 pesos for alleged violations in the city of Manila. That's on top of penalties, surcharges, and interest, since he was not able to settle these supposed violations on time.
The imposition of fines and penalties on traffic violations is only for regulatory purposes, and it should not be used as income-generating scheme.
But Solicitor General Minardo Guevara says it is not the government's fault if violators leave their offenses unaddressed. Guevara also pointed out that petitioners failed to exhaust all administrative remedies and violated hierarchy of court when they went straight to the SC. The Soljan has also asked the High Court to lift the temporary restraining order on the NCAP.
We reiterate the right to use vehicles in public roads is a mere privilege. That privilege comes not only with a duty to ensure the safety of pedestrians and travelers, but also with our collective obligation to ensure that our roads continue to serve the ends of our national economy and benefit each and every one of us.
With this, jeepney drivers are concerned about the possible return of NCAP. Motorists say they still prefer actual traffic enforcers manning the streets.
Kahit anong ingat mo, sir, minsan nagkakamali ka sa kalsada, hindi mo maiwasan yung yung pagkakamali. Mas maganda pa yung nainikit, sir, kasi alam namin kung saan sila nakapwesto at saka nakikita namin.
Ayusin muna nila yung mga signage nila at saka yung mga kalsada nila ng mga lubak-lubak. Yung sa mga signage, malayo yung nasa ilalim yung signage, hindi sila sa taas.
Hearings on the Supreme Court's restraining order against NCAP will continue on January 24th. For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
In other news, a magnitude 5.3 earthquake rocked Vinzons, Camarines Norte at around 1 p.m. today. The earthquake was felt across Metro Manila and parts of Quezon. FIVOC says aftershocks are expected. We're gonna pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News. watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. San Miguel Corporation's power unit is formally ending its power supply deal with Meralco beginning today, December 7. SMC Global Power says it has notified Meralco of its decision to cease delivering 670 megawatts under their Ilihan power supply agreement. SMGP and Meralco said they have already taken steps to ensure uninterrupted service to consumers. This development comes on the back of the Court of Appeals issuing a temporary restraining order on the power supply deal between Meralco and SMC's South Premier Power Corporation. The Petro Gazz Angels defended their PVL reinforced conference crown after downing the Signal HD Spikers in Game 2 of the finals. Finals MVP Lindsay Vanderweide led the way for Petro Gazz with 19 points, while Myla Pablo added 17, including the championship-winning point. Remy Palma had 18 points, including 5 blocks. This loss gives Signal a silver medal after back-to-back bronze finishes in the last 2 conferences. Aside from winning Finals MVP, Vanderweide was also named Best Import at the individual awards ceremony. And experts are warning about the risks of online sports betting, which has been booming across the United States. Let's find out more from this Bloomberg report.
Today, the idea of sports gambling once being illegal almost seems quaint. Once allowed only in Nevada, betting on sports is now legal in more than 31 states. For decades, sports betting was limited to betting on just the games. Who would win, how many points the team would score, who will cover the spread. In-game betting allows the user to bet throughout the game.
Every pitch of a baseball game, every point of a tennis match, every play of an NFL game, on a free throw, on you name it, those are things that I think customers want and haven't necessarily been able to get in the brick and mortar setting.
This is advertised at you the whole game long. It keeps you thinking about betting and involved in betting throughout the game.
It really creates engagement at a deeper level, which of course makes people bigger fans and makes them tune into the content longer and pay more attention to it.
It's dangerous because it does have the potential to keep you chasing losses.
Chasing losses is maybe the most dangerous phrase in sports betting. And while only 2% of gamblers become addicted to gambling, for the ones who do, it has the potential to ruin lives.
When you put sports betting in a mobile or online form, it no longer is tied or pinned to the particular sport event. Not only can you play in-game on multiple things continuously, you can also bet on after-game things. You don't have to stop when the game ends. You're very hooked in and confirmed in your behavior because of this constant fast feedback.
Time to check in on some of the latest news from around the world. Former U.S. President Donald Trump's real estate company, the Trump Organization, has been found guilty of tax fraud. These charges stem from the firm's 15-year-long practice of doling out off-the-books incentives to its executives. The company is now facing up to $1.6 million in fines. In Indonesia, lawmakers have approved a new criminal code which prohibits premarital sex and cohabitation. However, this policy will not take effect until after 3 years to make way for the drafting of implementing rules. Once in effect, violators could face up to 1 year of jail time. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.